Boom, we're on. And today's guest, we've got Jason Marriner. How are we, brother?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad, thanks. Was that a loyalist handshake?
We'll edit that bit out for sure. Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
So, up for the Celtic Rangers game tomorrow as well.
Aye.
Looking forward to this one.
I am. I fancy Rangers to win. I really do.
You're going to fucking say that.
No, I do. I fancy, listen, fucking hell, like, you know. They're getting better, Rangers. They're getting better, you know what I mean? But anyway, they couldn't get any worse, so...
So, I always go back to the start with my guest, Jason.
Yeah.
It's just where you grew up and how you get involved in the life you were involved in. So, where did you grow up?
Well, I went to a school called Whitton School. Well, the 3 days I went, Whitton School I went, near Twickenham, Amworth, that sort of area. And then... it was a mixed area for people supporting different clubs, really. You know what I mean? It wasn't, it was quite a lot of Chelsea around there, but obviously them days, a lot of Man United, in the younger years, and Arsenal and Liverpool, always the same, you know what I mean? A lot of Tottenham, a bit of mixture. So it was absolutely a mixture of everyone, you know what I mean? But I always believe you should support who your dad supports, you know what I mean? And so, is that why you support Celtic?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, then I'm a great believer in that. I think I think you should. Do you
All
know
my
what I mean?
family are mad Rangers as well. All born in.
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, Beetroot, I like your family more than you. But I do. I think you should support who But so and if you like football, my old man liked football. Listen, it's the biggest fucking sport in the world, isn't it? And it was then, and it is now, and it ain't changed. If anything, it's got bigger in it because of all the PC turnout. We got a lot of women's football now, haven't we? And this and that and what have you. But so started going. I was playing, and watching, going, and. You sort of get caught up in it, but it's not only you get caught up in it, to be truthful. If you have if it's in you for, look, at times I was a cunt at school, wasn't I? So that's the bottom line, or on the street, or wherever it is, and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, you sort of, you're getting mixed up with your football. You're passionate about your football. Look, fucking, I've said it before. I've said it 1,000,001 times. If I play marbles, I want to win. Look, I'm a dirty, horrible blue nose tomorrow from your side. You know what I mean? And vice, we all slag each other off. And it is what it is. I think that's all part of it. And when I was younger, you get caught up in it. And then we started. Like, people would organise a coach. Like, he was a straight runner. I put him down as a straight runner, the kid that had the coach, really. But there's a few of us that were Herberts. And, say I took 10 people in there, I'd nick £2 each out of them. You know what I mean? My old man had a boozer. I'd take the light hour on there. I'd nick 50 pence out of a can of a booze. And, do you know what I mean? And then, there'd be other bits and pieces on there that people were earning money off of, and this, that, and the other. And you do the fucking fruit machines, and you do the cigarette machines, and whatever. And all of a sudden, you're going home with a monkey in your pocket, and you're fucking, and you've had a fucking turnout. You've ended up having a row and whatever, and your X amount, But even before that, I just think, look, if it's in the cat, it's in the kitten, right? So you're born a scallywag, aren't you, so to speak.
What age did you start really getting into it seriously? The passion for Chelsea? And...
I would say, really, I reckon about 15, like, passionately. You know what I mean? I was, before that, I must sound like an old cunt, but I'd done the milk rounds. But before that, I used to get up and I used to go round and I used to fucking lift the mats and fucking nick the milkman's money. Right? And that's the truth of it. I ain't going to fucking lie. I used to go over and nick the fucking Cherry bottles and take the bottles back and get the 10 pence back on the bottles and what have you. And, whatever. I was a bit of a, schemer as well. Like, wanted a pound note, didn't I? And you're talking about, fucking a bottle used to cost a bottle like £2 to get into Chelsea's ground or something silly. So all of a sudden, you've nicked the milkman's fucking money. Ain't being funny. The treacle's left the money under the mat. You've nicked a ching. If you've nicked a fiver, you fucking got your train fare there. You're in burger. You're in. You're out. You know what I mean? You know. I mean, fucking hell, I don't want to sound like I was born in 1942, but it's a fact. I mean, you know, it's a shame the way the game's gone now. Like you've got free kick children. You know what I mean? You go and try and you go and try and get change out of a fucking monkey now on a day out with them to football. But going back to that, yeah, you know. So you know, and then I started I had a milk round. And for half become a straight runner, do you know what I mean? Like I enjoyed it, to be truthful. And the fella who had the milk round, his brother was an ardent Chelsea supporter, just a bit of a coincidence. So he used to, like, on an own, you know, he'd let me slip off a bit early. Go on, mate, off you go, Chelsea. I'll get me a little bit of weight, and off I went. And I had 38 scarves around my wrists and all that turn out, didn't I? And, you know, I used to fucking have the laces took out me Dr. Martens outside the ground and what have you. And, you know, used to queue up to get outside, get in the grounds, and fuck knows why. It was only 8,000 getting in there, do you know what I mean? You know.
Was your dad passionate towards Chelsea as you were?
Yeah, well, he was Chelsea, obviously Chelsea supporter, but I don't think, not as passionate as me, you know what I mean? I don't think. But my old man, as I say, what I was called as a straight runner, do you know what I mean? So he didn't have the violent streak in him, so to speak, do you know what I mean? And that's where I think it, you know, it's sort of, that's when I say if it's in the cat, it's in the kitten. Look, if you've been a nuisance at school and you have a tear up with the fucking other school, you know, let's have it right. You know, it starts at school. Your school's fighting the school down the road. Yeah. Right? And then you get a bit of a name to yourself, and then bum, and it carries on from there. And it's, you know, they make you laugh. They go on about all these fucking, like, all this football violence and this, that, and the other. And, you know, Notting Hill Carnival's just happened. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many people have been fucking stabbed there, but they don't want to tell you about it all because, you know, it's not right for them. You know what I mean? But if it was football, it'd be fucking front pages of the paper.
What was your first game you ever went to? You remember?
No, I couldn't. Do you know what? I'd be lying about it. I was that young. I couldn't. I mean, I say I got into it strongly, passionately when I was 15, but obviously I went when I was, you know, when the old pot and pan was taking me at fucking holding his hand, and whatever, putting me over the turnstile.
So were you getting a buzz from like school fighting, and then it just progressed?
Yeah, listen, I just think, look, it's naturally in it. Look, if you're a bank robber, you don't wake up one morning and think, I'm going to rob a bank. Right? You're a fucking bank robber. That's what you do. But to me, that's a fact. Do you know what I mean? You know, like you don't want to become a fucking smackhead, but you have a little tickle of it. Next thing you know, you're a brass monkey. You're an absolute raving junkie, isn't there? Because you're fucking whacking the gear up inside you all the time. And football violence and that passion and that kind of thing, or the streak inside you, is already in you. You're born with that, and that's the bottom line. I don't, you know, look, you know, the hatred tomorrow is, to me, is fucking fantastic. You know, and it doesn't matter. It's not because it's Rangers v Celtic. It doesn't matter what the team is. On Sunday, it's Arsenal Tottenham. The hatred's there. And if you take that away, what's the point of having this game? What is the point of, you know, people fucking telling you to sit down and all that? Fucking sit down. What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? I just don't. Listen, I can't stand smoking. I can't bear it. But there should be a stand for people that's allowed to smoke, because they've just give 70 quid for a beef. They should be allowed to stand on their head if they want to. Do you know what I mean? But I just don't.
Can you remember your first scrap for Chelsea?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. We went to Wolverhampton Wanderers away, and it was a fucking Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever it was. Anyway, we've pulled up in the car park, and my pal, he's dead now, bless him, Darren Crew, he had a flag at Chelsea on it. He said, hold that, Chelsea. He wanted to shake the wife's wedding present. So as he's gone to the toilet, I'm holding the flag. There's a mob of this turnout, and they went, what's on that flag? Well, of course, the leery little cunt I am, it was fucking Chelsea. What do you think? So all of a sudden, he's gone to me, right? Big black geezer, by the way. I've fucking shaped up, gone to go with him. I've spat him. But anyway, he's fucking chased me all around a car park. They kicked the fuck out of me, to be truthful. But I was quite bruised up. Not too bad, but enough. I'd had a kick in, you know what I mean? And there had been quite a lot of altercations before the game, you know what I mean? I mean, you're talking like mid-80s and whatever, or early 80s, 82, whatever it was, something like that. So, you know, it was lively. It was good, you know what I mean? It was on top. But Chelsea had a good firm there, to be fair. And to be fair to Wolves, they was up for it. And, of course, it's all kicked off and boom, and then Chelsea got a nice firm together and done. But I think, because it's gone round that, you know, a few liberties have been taken outside the ground and this, that and the other. And I think they're doing it for me. Because like, I've been ironed out, really. Do you know what I mean? But they're not. They're doing it for the name of Chelsea, aren't they? They're doing it for the name of the club, for the name of their, you know, what we love and believe in. And that's the snowball. Do you know what I mean? That's when it sort of kicks in a bit. Hold on a minute. Fucking hell. They fucking love me here, do you know what I mean? You know, cunts don't even know me, don't they love me? You know? That's a fact.
How did Chelsea come through the ranks so fast from that side of things? How did they get the name that they did worldwide?
I personally think down to organisation. That's a personal opinion. Because many years ago, there's no organisation, right? There's no, you know what I mean? There's no mobile phones, there's none of this internet, there's none of this grass book, you know what I mean? There's none of this social media, none of this fucking keyboard warrior bollocks. You know, it's, you know, this is where we're meeting, this is a time, don't be late. People weren't late, they was 10 minutes before, do you know what I mean? Right? They want to get there, they want to fucking be there. You know, many people, you'd fucking turn up to get on a coach and you couldn't get on a coach, you know what I mean? People's, you know, you had to be there early or you had to pay your deposit the week before, you know what I mean? And everyone wanted to be on certain people's coaches or this, that and the other. And all of a sudden you're organised. And when you've got a bit of organisation, you can take it to a different level.
Many people did Chelsea having their fun at their strongest.
Look, everyone can talk about like mad numbers and all that, but we have been to certain places when we've been like 600 handed. But I am going back in the day. I mean, if a firm fucking goes and pulls 150 nowadays, that's a big mob. Don't care what anyone tells you. Forget all the bollocks. It's a big mob nowadays. Do you know what I mean? You know. But listen, I don't care. Look, the bottom line is you can have 500-600. It's always the same 30 or 40 at the front.
Who gave you the best scrap?
Do you know what? We've had some good ones to be truthful. So you can't, you know what I mean? You know, we've had some good ones. You know, we really have. And I think it'd be unfair for me to say that, you know, I've been to Millwall when we've done really well, but I've also been to Millwall and the only way he's fucking out is to fight. You know, because it's been on, you know, your Sheffield United, your fucking, you know, we've had some good turnouts with them, the Wolves, as I say, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, obviously we've had turnouts with Leeds and Leicester. We've had some great times with Leicester. Not quite sure why our big rivalry is with Leicester. I'll never know, but we always have done. You know, I've become quite pals with a few. You know, quite a lot of them all up and down the country, all over the. You know, but,
yeah, why is that then? All the scrapping you did with each other and then you became, is that more respect for each other?
Possibly a bit more respect, but do you know what? I'll tell you what the bottom line of it is, right? The bottom line of it is this. We all support a different team, but we're all the fucking same. We're all the same. We're like-minded. We wear the same sort of clothes. We drink as though we go to the same sort of bars, but in a different side of town. We're fucking... You know, we're all up for the same thing. We've got the same sort of personality. You know, I mean, listen, everyone's got good and bad. Everyone's got lunatics. Everyone's got fucking dressers and non-dressers. Everyone's got people that like certain music and don't like certain music. Everyone's got the same mixture in the same fucking thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You know.
What age did you start rising up the ranks then?
Do you know what? You don't even realise you're going up the ranks if the truth is to be fucking told.
Because you've got one of the biggest names between.
I think back in when you get an absolute chunk of bird and people know that you're 1,000,001%, that goes a long way as well. Do you know what I mean? You know, I mean, listen, the old bill said, I'm one dog in the old bill station. I've got the right to remain silent. So when I don't even say no comment to him. You'll be sitting there interviewing me, and I'll just look at you, or I'll just put my head and I'll just look away, and the old bill even say to me, "Do you know how degrading that is?" And I say, "I don't give a fuck, mate. What do you think? I'm fucking here to do your job." I don't even talk to him. I will not even talk to him. It's as simple as that, because I've got the right to remain silent. And if I go no comment, I ain't fucking silent, am I?
Do you think it's changed days now? Too many pussies, too many people videoing things.
They're fucking good. Listen, all that fucking people going, it's like being in the shovel. People go, oh, you know, sweet grassing. Oh, they're sweet grassing. They're sweet. No. They're grassing cunts. They're grassing. That's the bottom line. There ain't no sweet about it. It's fucking, it's too many people, you know what I mean? But
when did you start getting a lot of, from fighting, when did the police start being heavy on it?
To be honest, Maggie Thatcher was the one about that. Do you know what I mean? You know, she put the hammer down quite heavy. You know what I mean? You know, just wanted to stamp it out. You know what I mean? And she didn't do a bad job. You know, like my pal Icky, for argument's sake. You know, Icky, Vince, and Terry. You know, they all, anyway, Icky, Steve got, well, you know, he's still a good pal of mine now. I spend a lot of time, you know, he wound up getting a cockle. He got a 10. He got a 10 stretch, but they fabricated evidence. The old Bill, greedy-eyed chavies, they couldn't help themselves. They fabricated evidence. So,
trying to make an example of him.
So he got a 10, but he done 3 on, one is appeal, and got £100,000 compensation. So he moved to, he's funny, he's so funny. He's, you know, if me and him are together in the old Bill City, he says, I've flown back into England on taxpayers' money. Thank you for that slag, Maggie Thatcher. Do you know what I mean? And he, you know, that's just the way. But, you know, it started, and then, you know, they you know, it's a game, really. It's a game, isn't it? It's them and us. Look, it doesn't matter if it's fucking, it doesn't matter if it's football violence or fucking, you know, whatever it is. Or look, if it's cool, if it, you know, if it's cool, it's prosecution against fucking, against prosecution against us defending.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Fucking hell, I hope you edit that out.
Yeah.
And fucking hell,
The prosecution against us ourselves,
right, and then in prison. You know, you're convicts in their eyes, so it's screws against thing. It's us against the old Bill. It's a game. It's a game of chess. Who moves first? Do you know what I mean? You just got to be. My mate actually calls me. He calls me the chess player sometimes, because he says like I'm 5 moves in front. Do you know what I mean? But fucking hell, I ain't no good at chess, obviously.
What was when did you get your first sentence from it?
Well, the first heavy one, to be true. I mean, I'd done a little bit before thing, but for my first sentence for that was the box of bricks when I got the 6 stretch for the turnout with the program.
Yeah, was that the McIntyre thing?
Yeah.
What's the story with that then? He said
a fucking lot more. Well, no, but do you know what? I probably met him 25 times in 18 months. It's the most to this day that they've ever spent on a documentary, right? They spent £300,000 on it. So of your money, of your taxpayers' money, because that's where it come from, right? Your television license, right? BBC. We don't need to go any further about that turnout with the BBC. I mean, they're all bacons, aren't they? Right? You know, but it's quite plain and simple. What they done? Right, there was an informant. Right, there was an informant. Not a grass, because a grass is someone who points at someone and says he done it. There was an informant, a paid informant. Right, Darren Wells, right, known informant, and you know, anyway. But the truth of it is, well, we still to this day don't believe that they wanted to, you know. Obviously, they said that I was, you know, big with the underworld, and I had all these villains around me, and blah blah blah, and I was this, that, and the other. So their persona was that they was big time drug importers. That was their persona. They've never denied it. They've admitted it freely. They admitted it in court.
They says that to you?
No, them.
Yeah.
That's how they get in. That's how their personas are getting. So they rented a flat next door to me for 18 months.
But they were saying they were importing drugs.
Yeah. No, but I have to go back a little bit first because they didn't just flop on that straight away. What they done is I've always been a market trader. That's what I'm, a market trader, right? But I also had a tyre shop, with 2 recovery trucks. You know, listen, I like to try and get a few readies. You know what I mean? So I had that as well. So what they would do, what they've done is they lived next door to me for 18 months, but for 3 months I never even spoke to them. Didn't even acknowledge them. But people, you didn't. When you watch the documentary, you ain't going to see that. No one else is going to see that. It's only the idiots that think, oh, he fell for that and this, that, and the other. Let me tell you, there was 344 hours worth of video footage, right? Now, if you watch 344 hours worth of video footage, that's 7 days a week, your television on at 2.5 weeks, 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day for 2.5 weeks. Fucking lot of footage, right? And that's the best they could pull up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You're not going to see, when you're watching that documentary, you're not going to, to the naked eye, is not going to notice that when I come back from when I went to somewhere, let's say fucking Rangers Celtic, and I'm wearing this fucking Terrace Cult t-shirt, right? Let's say I'm wearing that. They're not going to notice that when I come back, I've got a boss one on. But they've clipped it, edited, enhanced it, filmed it, boom, and boom. That's their job. There's no sour milk with me. I don't give a fuck. But what they done, right? I'll tell you what is sore. I'll tell you what is very sore. And I thought I might have had the jury on this one, if I'm being honest with you. Right. There was I lived in a little gaff called, little town called Hampton Hill. Nice little gaff, you know what I mean? Sweet. Right, cut a few little lighthouse shops, nice pubs, nice people. It was all right, it was cushy, and my mate's ex-girlfriend, she's a girlfriend of mine, just a girlfriend, right? My mate's ex-girlfriend worked behind the jump. Well, he's tried to slip into her, McIntyre, right? Mackin lies, right? He's tried to slip into her. Well, she thought he was quite a good-looking cunt, blah, blah, blah. And she said, listen, do you fancy going out with a fucking drink and this, that, and the other? Boom, boom. She's gone with it, isn't she? She's a single girl. Why not? She's up with her, you know what I mean? But I don't, it's unbeknown to me. I'm not interested in this mongrel, am I? Right? So then he cancels, and he keeps going missing, right? But there was another kid called Paul Atkinson, right, who was ex-old Bill, come out of Moss Side. So he had a bit more to walk, bit more to talk. Listen, they're puffing. They were having a puff with the fucking local. Got slipped into the locals. Let me tell you, there's a lot more other people that was more worried than what I was, because they've got to make pals around there. But I don't need many more friends. Do you know what I mean? So it was they never fucking slipped. Do you know what I mean? It's just made it look
So he's followed you about for 18 months. He's a documentary maker.
Yeah. But hold on. Right.
Does entrapment kick into play?
No, because there's no agent provocateur in this country. If it was America, it'd be thrown out. Wouldn't even go past the first hurdle. But hold on. This is where I think it gets a little bit sore for Heather, for the girl, right? And this is where I think the jury might sympathise with me a little bit, right? We know the outcome, so they didn't, right? But anyway, right. But he ends up taking her out, right? And they go to the Blue Elephant Thai restaurant in Chelsea. Nice gaff. If I ever want some brownie points, that's where it's gone now, as it happens, the gaff. But you walk in there, you go over a little bridge, all koi carp swimming about, and boom, boom, boom. It's a right nice gaff. It wined and dined her, and it's champagne. On your money, by the way, right? Champagne, all the thing, nothing spared. Anyway, they have a pot noodle later on. They have a canoodle, don't they? A little kiss and cuddle, bum, bum, bum. Right? She thinks, sweet. Anyway, he makes his excuses and goes. But she thinks he's married. That's why he's gelled. That's why he's done the slits. Obviously, he's an undercover reporter. That's why he's done the slips. He can't tuck under her belt, I suppose, or he can't march on. I'm not saying she would, you know, I mean, I don't know what's happened to her, but anyway. But she fucking, like, you know, and then they've gone out a few, but when it started coming out, she went, he didn't stop asking about you that night we was out. She went, that's what, and because I had the tyre shop, he said, oh, I need some new tyres, this, that, and the other. Where's Jason's tyre shop? He didn't even know. 3 fucking months had lived next door to me. He didn't know. That's how good they were at the job. But she's told him she ain't got nothing to hide. She ain't, do you know what I mean? She ain't gassing me up. She didn't know. But she's fell for the man. That's the truth of it. She fell for him, which is strong. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, comes down, blah, blah, blah. Then offers me a contract, right? Now he talks to me, right? Blah, blah, blah. Do you want to, of course I want to fucking do your tyres. I've got a tyre shop. I ain't going to send you to fucking McDonald's, am I? Right? So I say, yeah, sweet, mate, blah, blah, blah. Just like, yeah, whatever, mate. After, but never no conversation really, but very shrewd in what they're doing. Then I'll be in a lighthouse shop with a few of my pals having a booze, boom, 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 he'd be the other way, send a drink over. I'm one of them, and I ain't a fucking send one back. And, you know, I don't know the geezer. The geezer lives in the same block, you know what I mean? Sweet, have a drink. He'd always come past, always say hello to me pals, and, you know, don't think everyone, they don't understand the scenario. So anyway, when it becomes a lot more down the line, what he says to me, because they pretend that they're big in the importation of gear, what he says to me is, right, we're in the other job, wants to try and talk all gangsters to me and this, that and the other. I said, oh, yeah, mate. I said, I don't know what you're telling me, Bol. I ain't interested. Anyway, they offered me the gear, right? Some fucking, it's absolute Queen's evidence. We got back up. Can't sue me if it's any other way. Sue me, it's all bollocks. Can't. So they offered me the gear, which I'll obviously turn down. I'll say, listen, mate, I'll do my own thing. I'll get my own money and I don't need to be involved in all that bollocks. And they said, look, we have top of the range vans all the time coming in and out of Europe. Do you want the contract to change our tyres all the time? Because they've got to be pristine all the time. So obviously I'll give them a price, don't I? For fucking a fleet of vans, because they've got a courier company. They pretend that they have a courier company, but they're blending the other job in. There is no other job, obviously, we know that, right? But whatever. So that's how they got into me, if you like. That's how they cracked the ice, and I started talking to them more, if you want to know.
But a trust started building.
I say a bit of trust. Not really. The cunt's my neighbour. I'm just, all right, mate, how are you?
Yeah.
Sweet, you know what I mean?
Was there any alarm bells ringing then?
No, right. I must say this, because this is what annoys me with people on the outside. See what happened to me? It happens every single day of the week to somebody else, but it ain't the BBC. It's the old Bill. It happens every single day of the week. I've been away with a man in the shovel, right? And he was a brass monkey, and he said to me, look, I didn't mind, because he admitted that he was a junkie. And he said, look, he said, do you know what happened to you? He said, it happens. And I said, listen, mate, I know. I said, because I know someone that was a prolific thief, him and his brother, prolific. So the old Bill opened a shop, and they bought all the gear from him. And then they just went and fucking raided everyone's gaffs. But it's the old Bill that opened the shop, and it was the old Bill that was working behind the counter, right? And he said to me, he said he was in there for serving the old Bill up smack, right? And he said to me, he said, in the death, he said, I didn't feel comfortable with this geezer. He said, no, I'm a junkie. He said, I made no bones about it. He said, and in the death, I said to him, listen, you never have a boot with me, mate. You're having a boot. And they fucking shut the door. He made him have a boot. Do you know what I mean? I started laughing. I went, no way, and all that. And he went, I'm fucking telling you. He said, Joe, I've got no reason to like you. So I'm telling you. And whatever happened to me happens every single day.
There's surveillance on everybody.
But it's the old Bill, it's not the BBC.
How did the BBC choose you, the bastard?
I just told you, the informer, Darren Wells.
And that's, how can they use that in court? How can that even be law for them to be? Did they have wires and shit every day? Were they wired up?
Yeah, fully. Like, fucking hell, more cameras than down here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, fucking, but look, adversity brings you great strength, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I've used it to, people say to me, I don't use it to my advantage as much as I should do. And they're probably right, because I'm just a kid off the fucking street that, but I do know a lot of people that would have buckled a lot. You know, you just got to be a little bit mentally strong, haven't you, and not pretend you're anything that you ain't. Just be fucking real to yourself.
Yeah.
Be, you know, whatever. You're Celtic, I'm fucking Rangers. So fucking what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that programme was viewed nearly 10 million times or something. It was one of the most viewed. It was one of them that was bigger than EastEnders.
I'll tell you what they've done. They've done it in when it come. Because it was fucking prime time, when it 7.5 million.
When did you find out it was coming out?
Well, that's how I know he's the informer as well. Well, not only that, I've been told, but right, Darren Wells, who I've known for a long time, right, who come out and said I am an informer, more to do with the right wing, which is. Let's not get this twisted, right? Because you're fucking Chelsea, don't mean you're a fucking neo-Nazi. Because for whatever reason, they seem to think that you're a mad Nazi. You know what I mean? Because it's all bollocks, right? Absolute bollocks, right? And it annoys me about it, right? I mean, you know, because if your views are more right wing than left, you're extreme right. But if your views are more left than right, you're just left wing. You're not extreme left. So it's all bollocks. But he was working for a mob called Searchlight. But he was also against fucking, I think, Combat 18 and what have you at the time. Which is nothing to do with Chelsea, nothing to do with the McIntyre, nothing to do with this, nothing. But he was on the payroll. So anyway, but he said to me, he said I was working in the BBC, changing the light things and this, that and the other, and there was a trailer coming on, and because your voice is distinctive, I heard your voice. So I turned round, looked at it and went, cool, I know him. And they went, oh yeah, don't tell him, you know, there's a documentary coming out about him. And he told me 2 days before, right? So then I'll get hold of my brief and then go, right, listen, and he went, well, there's nothing on that. And I sat there and I watched it with my solicitor. With a fucking pillow over my face and my head and fucking and like that. And I thought, oh my good God. But I got 7.5 million viewers that night, and I know EastEnders only got 6 million. So I beat them cunts, right? But
when did it start going to court and shit then? When did you do that?
Listen, I'll tell you what I've done. I've done the slips, didn't I? Well, I didn't hang about it, and then I thought, you know what? I thought I'm past the post. I thought I was Lester Piggott, didn't I? I thought, fuck me, I'm sweet here. I fuck off, and then and that it come out in November. I got chawed in the March. I got nicked in the March. I got nicked to...
Is that not a schoolboy error from those part to release that before a trial? Is that not giving evidence away?
No, because they listen. Do you know what it was? You know, saying me and my QC, Michael Walkind, little Jewish fella, Barnet supporter. Right? Me and him are still pals to this day. He's a good man. He's in the top 10 in the country. He's known for his sharpness, and me and him really get on well to this day. And he said, look, you just got to roll with it and see what evidence they got and see what's this and see what that. But we're still of the elders. We don't really think that they was that bothered about a conviction.
They were wanting to make a documentary.
They wanted fucking bums on seats because they sold that worldwide. And it's all about Reddies, isn't it? Everything's about pound notes. And that, you know, all right, they got, but he's got to fucking the mongrel. Like when I do get chawed, I mean, there's some great stories behind it. To be truthful, with me because of the way I am. But I'll give you a prime example. When I get chawed, right, they nick me and they go. Anyway, they come to my yard, and I've got the trailer in my yard as well, and the boy who who I brought up as well, he's come up the same site and what have you, and he says, anyway, I'll speak to him in Romany so they can't understand. And they say, oh, don't start your pikey bollocks around us and this, that, and the other. I says, yeah, whatever, mate, whatever. So anyway, they went, listen, you'll be out in a few hours, be able to clean your trailer up and this, that, and the other. I said, yeah, sure I will. I said, what do you think I'm getting out? Right, so because they've done, you know, they've only come to nick me, ain't they? They're only doing what they've been told to do. When I walk in the gather station, when I walk in there, the desk sergeant went, "Oh, here he is, the famous Jason Marriner." So I went, "I don't think I'm famous, do you?" I said, "Fucking, let's have it right, mate." All of a sudden, this skinny-eyed chicken neck comes and sits next to me, and he says, "All right, mate." I says, "Well, I ain't your mate, am I, mate? I don't fucking ever seen you before in all my life." And he had, I ain't joking, yeah, this cunt had like a Mr. Byright suit on. Like, it was shocking. Right? Honestly, his round the houses, his trousers was that much off of his fucking shoes. Right? And all that. I said, I'll tell you what you got to do, mate. You got to put some jam on your shoes and invite your trousers down to tea. I said, I've never seen nothing like it, mate. I said, don't you earn any fucking money in this job? Right? So anyway, I've looked at him like that. So he went, I'm so-and-so and so-and-so, and I'm police intelligence. I said, well, don't put them two words together. Police and intelligence, you know what I mean? I said, oh, yeah. He said, I'm leading this investigation. So I said, good luck to you, mate. Right, so he said, well, he said, so we will be having a long chat later. I said, let me tell you one thing, goat's mouth. You'll be talking to yourself. Now, do yourself a favour, bang me up and fuck off. All right, I said, I'm not interested in your silly little games. So, anyway, they take me, anyway, that was another little, so they bang me up, yeah? So he said, well, to be fair, the desk sergeant, he went, everything all right, mate? I said, yeah, not too bad, my old cousin. I said, I'll tell you what, though, Chelsea got Lazio tonight. I said, you couldn't let me know what the result is, could you? Said, no problem, mate. It was all right, the gaze on, nicked and I'm sweet. So anyway, I gets banged up. Later on, right, that evening, it was new to me. Fucking hell, I'd been nicked 1,000,001 times. It was new. They had people come round to fucking make sure you're all right in the cells nowadays.
Suicide watch.
I don't know if it's suicide watch or fucking whatever it is, but it's like, to be fair, they're just, it's out of their own time. They're only like, not auxiliaries, but fucking just Joe Public, do you know what I mean? But I ain't being funny. This cunt was 387 years old, this one, and maybe he's having a turnout with the old bird that he was with, and that's why his excuse to get out of the house from his old woman, the cunt. Because anyway, he's coming, and he's like, he said, is everything all right, mate? So I said, no, not really, mate. And the cozzers looked at me like that, and he ain't seen me, he ain't spoke to me, this other cozzer that's there, so he's thinking, what's he going to say? So he went, well, what's the matter? And he's got his old pen and paper out, and he's sat there. I said, well, be truthful, mate, I've got the fucking raving hump. He said, well, why is that then? I said, well, I've asked the cunt up there to tell me what the result is about Chelsea Lazio. I said, they ain't even told me. So he's looked at me like that. He said, oh, you're worried about it? I said, that's all I'm worried about. Anyway, the cos went, I'll get you the result, mate. I said, you do that, mate. Anyway, I said, get us another pillow and another blanket, mate. I said, don't be late for court in the morning. Right? So that was that. When I get to court, blah, 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 they oppose bail. Right? No brown out for me. Right? So they said, right. So the prosecution stands up, and one of his biggest opposement was, when we caught Mr. Marriner, he had Mr. McIntyre's name and address in his pocket on a bit of paper. So I started laughing. The old chocolate fudge went, well, he said, can you keep quiet? I said, no, not really, mate. No, I can't, because I know I'm going to the warehouse. I said, no, not really, mate. She said, I'm not, how dare you? And I said, how dare I? I said, he lived next door to me for 18 months, mate. I think I know where he lived. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right? And so I did, I'll go out to laugh to people. But, and I said, just for interest. So then they said, can you go through your brief? So I was going on my brief. I said, can you ask them where the bit of paper is? Well, they've lost it. I said, what, in 24 hours? My fucking case come up 13 months later. They never lost the evidence, the cunts, I tell you, but they lost that one bit of paper in the 24 hours.
So for him to make that documentary, he made that for the BBC and went 18 months undercover to make a documentary, no realising the extent it was going to go. Was he?
Well, we think, right, we think that they because they went down the, I need you to add this sort of thing, but because they've always said that on with gangsters and villains and this, that and the other, I'd rather do that another way, put that in. But because they've always said that, Freddie Form's been my pal since the 80s, I'd rather you'd asked me that. Do you know what I mean? And all these kind of people, they think, maybe they thought I was active in the drug. Well, I ain't, and I still ain't, and I'm not, and fucking whatever. So I think, see, I don't know if you remember, but they actually done they done one on fraudsters, one on models, my one on stockbrokers, and one on care homes, right? But the stockbrokers never made it. Never made it on television.
Money, do you think?
Huh?
Money behind it, do you think?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the stockbrokers had too much money to take them. So little old me, thank you, little old me, I can't, I ain't being rude. I don't, people might say I do all right for myself in life. One thing's doing all right for yourself. Taking the BBC to call.
Yeah, you're fucked.
It's the most, they are the most powerful organisation. Don't being fucking funny. You've got your Jimmy Saviles, your Max Cliffords, your fucking thing. You can get, the list goes on with them fucking slags, right? They all want to talk about them when they're dead. They're fucking nonsense. You know what I mean? No one, let's not say anything about them. Bollocks.
Yeah.
Bollocks, you know what I mean? We've all got kids. What are you talking about?
Yeah, cover it all up.
So they are the most powerful organisation there is. Do you know what I mean? And please God, in years to come, YouTube gets bigger and bigger and bigger and wipes them fucking nonsense out. You know what I mean? Because it's disgusting how their behaviour is disgusting. You know what I mean? But unless you are in the public eye a little bit or whatever, I mean, that's why when you phone me up and ask me to come on your show, I'm more than happy to do it because I've got nothing to hide. Go and ask them. Go and ask them. Let's see what they've got to hide.
They'll fucking
Telling ya.
say nothing, but
Telling you.
know what I mean?
Hey, listen, he tried to get hold of me. He tried to get hold of me to do a 10-year anniversary. Like, we're married, old mother's cunt, right? Like a 10-year anniversary about the documentary about it's like so repels. So I'm going to forget it because obviously
That's a fucking joke.
I've seen him, right? But he's had his wife nicked, haven't you?
You're joking.
He's had his wife nicked.
So he's got you 6 years in the jail, and now he's asked for a 10-year.
I got out on the Tuesday.
He got you 6 years in the jail, and then he's asked you to do a 10-year anniversary.
Well, he didn't know. What happened was, right, I'll rephrase that a little bit, otherwise I'll talk as much bollocks as him. An agent got hold of me, right, and said he would like, and I said, let me tell you one thing. I said, I'll do it. But the odds are in my favour this time, not in it. You know what I mean? And I won't be in the same room as him because I'd want to stick that straight in his face, scabby-eyed cunt. Do you know what I mean? To this day. Although, let me tell you, everyone else thinks about him. I don't think about him. He can't live in my head rent-free. All the time he lives in my head for nothing. I ain't getting a pound note. Not a chance, mate. I don't care if he gets cancer in his throat tomorrow. I do not care. Right? And I don't care if he lives to 187. It don't bother me. I don't think about him. Other people want to talk to me about him. Right? I'm not. Don't care. I just hope he gets lockjaw so he can't keep lying about people. But what he done, got hold of an agent, this, that, and the other. So I went in with a strong figure. Strong. Right? And to be honest, this sounds a bit thing, but the agent even said to me, your name will be stronger than his. The people will want to, do you know what I mean? So I went, lovely. So anyway, I went in with a strong figure and this, that, and the other. He's come back and offered me a figure, right? Weren't right? And I said, who's he to fucking offer me? Who's he? Right? And then when I delved into it more, it was his own production company. I said, tell him to go and lay with my grandmother about fucking... I said, you're off your head, aren't you?
How did he get his wife charged?
They've had a turnout. Whatever thing, yeah. And she... this is fucking fantastic. I think you can go... I mean, I ain't no good on them turnouts, but you go and have a little look up and all that. She fucking bought a fucking spy camera as a hook. Like a hook that you hang your coat on and all that. And was taping him. Taping him the cover.
Both of them are just as fucking bad as each other.
You lay with dogs, you get fleas. Fucking hell.
What the fuck?
Yeah, on my life. He's got her chores, he's got her nicked. And he's got the children now and this, that, and the other. And he's fucking doing all this criminology fucking gear and this, that, and
It's funny how she's recording him. He gets her nicked, but you can't fucking get him nicked for doing the exact same.
Do you know what? No, I wouldn't get him nicked because I ain't a dog like that. Listen, because he got me mate nicked. Well, two. I mean, look, every time he's been done a couple of times, and then the old Bill have always said to me, well, we know you're behind it. We know this, that, and the other. I mean, one time he got done. It was a bit of a coincidence. They said to me it's a bit of a coincidence because he got done, and I was on a football ban at the time. And I I was handing my passport in at the police station. So when they pressured me and said, you've been, you know, and this is down to you. And so, I said, I was in the police station handing my passport in. I'm on camera. I'm holding. I don't know what you're talking about. And they went, yeah, we know you. Don't worry. And I went, well, fuck.
Who the fuck is he though?
Thank you. Who is he? Yeah, one of your mob that comes.
So after your life, how did that change your life then? That getting that 6 and being exposed to...
Made me a lot thinner. I went to the shovel. I was running a lot.
to have that exposure, because then everybody knew who you were.
Yeah. See, I don't look at it like... Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mental, isn't it? I don't... Well, it's just mad, isn't it? I've been at mental airports and people, oh, mate, can I have a photograph of you and all that? And it's mad and all that. But look, not everyone's going to love you. Not everyone's, you know, look, you could be fucking, you know, Dave the fucking corner shop owner and someone's going to dislike you. You know, you can't help it. But I think what happens with me is, you know, I don't try and give it the fucking big one. I've just rode with it and took it on the chin and got my head down and done this, that and the other. Because people say to me, because I'm a bit of a character and have a laugh and a joke, and well, what am I going to do? Fucking cry about that cunt all my life. I ain't worried about him, do you know what I mean? I've got absolutely no, I mean, fucking, you know. But, so, I mean, it is mad. It is mad. Like, James, to be truthful, mate, how fucking, you know, how it's changed a bit because, you know, it's mad. It's even hard to explain. Like, sounds a bit embarrassing, but you know, sometimes people think you're fucking a bit famous. You know what I mean? But you know, I suppose, and I think what helped me as well. But you know, I've done a DVD, and I've, you know, my books have been very honest. Very honest. If I've been done, I've been done. If I'm a fat cunt, I'm a fat cunt. I mean, I ain't no point lying about it. I mean, it's all the world's there to see.
But you've been in countless documentaries, films.
Yeah.
You have been everywhere. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You have got a strong name and a strong reputation, and everybody who I speak
But
to...
but look, you got to be. It's nice to be nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever. Look, I had good people around me, even when I was younger, and all the proper names and faces and what have you. If you actually, none of them are bullies. None of them are fucking thing. You know, they're strong people, and you know, you've interviewed some fucking, you know, some notorious proper people, and I bet you'd say they've been gentlemen.
Yeah.
But because they got morals. Look, I like 5 things in life. You know, morals, dignity, respect, trust, and loyalty. Them 5 things. I'm strong about them 5 things. And I'm about all of them. And that's the way it is. And look, if I like someone, I like someone. And you can't help who they support or whatever background they come from or whatever. I'm an old market trader. I used to deal with 1,000,001 Sikhs. I mean, I like the Sikhs. They fought for us. You know what I mean? I fucking like the Sikhs. But hold on a minute. You're Chelsea. You're racist, aren't you? No. Fuck off. It's boring, mate. It's boring. Do you know what I mean? Yes. We've all said racist comments in our life. Yes. You know. Can anyone put their hand on their heart and say they've never made a racist comment? Because if you fucking say you haven't, you're a lying cunt. And that's the truth. Right? So, you know... I think.
How was it when you came out then? Go to the games? Was there more heat on you then? Did you stop the fight?
Go to the games, I had the old chocolate fudge again. Oh, this is funny. Well, I think it's funny. When I got weighed off, I got the 6, yeah. I walked down the apples and I led on me thing, yeah. I led on me fucking blue mat that you could read your newspaper through, right? And I got a 20-year ban, but the maximum is 10 years in this country, yeah? Sorry, I'm in Scotland at the moment, because at the time, there's a little story behind it. It wasn't in Scotland at the time, it was England and Wales. So anyway, the old jailer, and the jailer's got to know me, because I used to ask where fucking kids and have a 2 toast at lunchtime, you know what I mean? Fucking hell. Right, so, and he was sweet with me, you know, he couldn't believe it. Fucking hell, Jace, you've got fucking 6 years. You know, there's a cunt down there, he's just got 7 years for fucking raping a fucking child. And that's the truth of it. It's just 7 years for fucking raping a child. The cunt's going to do 6 months more than me. 6 months? I've done longer in the canteen queue. Fucking 6 months longer, you know what I mean? But, so, he's come to me, he said, Jace, they want you back up. They need to rectify your ban. you got, your QC stood up, looked it all up in the archives, and he said, the maximum's 10 years. I went, leave off, Chav. I said, it not a long walk up them apples again. I'm fucking tired. I've been on trial for 6 weeks. I'll just take me back home. I said, I want to get my head down. I said, I've fucking had a long week. You know what I mean? He looked at me, shook his head. He went, you're fucking nuts. I went, no, come on, drop me out. I said, look, tell him to fucking go and lay with my grandmother. I said, listen, I ain't going fucking back up there, rectify poxy fucking football band. I said, it ain't like I'm going to go Saturday, is it? Do you know what I mean? Right. So he went. So anyway, the judge sent another thing down saying, if you don't come back into court, you'll get done for contempt of court. So I said, because I got done for conspiracy as well, right? And which means, obviously, to conspire, I've got to speak to you and I. So when the phone call was made to the Leicester supporters to organise, we're not going to deny that, they never answered the phone. So to this day, I want to know who we conspired with, right? Right? So I went, I think the old chocolate fudge has got his conspiracy and his fucking, and his thing mixed up again. I said, because he wants out. I said, contempt of court. So he went, yeah. I said, well, if I ain't in the courtroom, how can I be done for contempt of court? I said, his conspiracy and contempt of court, he's got it all twisted, this cunt. I said, he's thinking about his old boy on his knee and he's fucking with his stockings and suspenders on. I said, tell him to forget it. I said, I said, I'm all right here. Anyway, but it's comical because they give me a ban. So it obviously went down to 10 years, yeah? And I wasn't allowed within I don't know if I can't remember, it was that long ago because I've had 21 years of bans, but it was like a 3 or 5 mile radius of Chelsea football grounds, yeah?
When the game's on?
Yeah, right? So when I'm away, I think I'll be comical, don't I, old Joe the Champ? I write to the old chocolate fudge, right? I write to him. And I said, every other Saturday, I'm breaking the ban. Because I'm within the fucking perimeter. So is there any chance of you getting me out of this shithole and moving me to another beautiful establishment? Right? My mates went, oh, you're crazy. You know? But it's just a game. What I'm saying is it's a game. Do you know what I mean? It's just a game. Bit of banter. It's a bit of a laugh and this, that and the other. I've done it to one of my mates, didn't I? Like in the Nick one time when I fucking, it was another time when I wrote to fucking Rose West, sent it to me mate from me mates thing. Sent it from me mates.
Jail address.
Yeah, sent it from like he was 2 cells away from me
yeah.
and all that, and said he wanted to be a pen pal and all that, and like fucking. He'd fallen in love with her, and he'd written, and he went, "Oh, you fucking man!" I mean, but people do all that, don't they?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
get married and shit.
But I sent it from him, obviously not from me. I sent it. Do you know what I mean?
To her?
Yeah, to her.
Did she
in the
reply?
shovel and all that. I got shipped out, so I never know to this day. But it's just silly little things like that that make you.
Just try to keep you occupied, huh?
Look, you got to have a bit of banter. You got to have a bit of, every day's look. You can have 8 fights a day. I mean, in Wandsworth at that present time, to be totally honest with you, it's an absolute bang up. It's an absolute behind the fucking door. Stories. I remember coming down once, I'll never forget it, Mr. Stewart, everyone hated him. I got no art of him, he was all right, nowhere else, you know what I mean? Don't ask for anything in there because you ain't getting it. So I went through the hot plate one day, and Mr. Stewart saying you had to have your shirt tucked in, everything in there. Let me tell you, in Wandsworth.
Army fucking regiment.
No, listen, but I done a DVD with Pretty Roy Shaw many years ago, or many of us stars, because, we all was in the thing. And my question to Roy was, you've done every single Nick. What is the hardest prison? And he said Wandsworth, 1,001% Wandsworth. And so when you walk one way, you're only allowed to walk one way. So when I come through the hot plate and I come out, I went, hello, Mr. Stewart, how are you? He went, all right, Marriner. And he's up on his old Bromleys. He's up on his old Bromley Barbeaus, like an ex-old Bill, you know what I mean, like that. So I said, Mr. Stewart, I said, I haven't actually seen daylight for 3 days. Is there any chance of a bit of exercise? Do you think we'll see exercise in the next fortnight? We see the exercise yards. I'm having a bit of banter, but really deep down, I fucking want it. Come on, mate, I'm fucking, do you know what I mean? It's enough now. People are starting to get the zig and all get right agitated and this, that and the other. And he went, come here. And I'd already walked past him, and I'm not allowed to walk back. I went, no, all that. He went, no, come here. He said, I'll tell you. So I walked back. I went, what's the matter? And he went, he said, exercise. And I went, yeah. And I went, yeah, any chance, Mr. Stewart? I said, because they reckon it stopped raining in China 3 days ago. And he went, no chance. And I went, well, that's the end of that then. And he went, do you want to know why? And I went, not really, but you're going to tell me. And he went, yeah. He said, I'll tell you. He said, you know why you're not getting exercise? I went, no. He went, because you're a cunt. And I had to laugh as much as inside. But other people have got the hump about it. You know, like other people
Angry.
are fucking raging. Right? And I've walked away. I've actually chuckled to myself. I thought,
silly bastard.
Come to me Christmas Eve one night, and I heard him coming, and I've got my paper up like that, and I'm in a single cell, and he's fucking opened the flat, bang, he's crashed it. He went, Marriner. I went, what, Mr. Stewart? And I've got my paper up, and I won't look at him. He went, look at me. I went, fuck off. Because he you know what I mean? He was fucking lagging. I mean lagging. He went, you'd like to be as drunk as you come in here. And I've gone like that, and as I put my paper down, he's got a big red rose on with big dreadlocks. He went, you can't have me Christmas. Slapped the thing and fucked off. There's a mind getter. Yeah. But it was funny. It was funny. It's even funny at a day because I've got a booze in front of me. I'm having a nice conversation. But let me tell you, weaker people would buckle. Weaker people would buckle.
I'm going to kill that bastard when I'm out of here, this
Honestly.
and that. Yeah, he's in their minds. How did it break you then, not able to go to see Chelsea, getting so many bans? You've had one of the biggest, longest bans ever in British history.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what did make it easier, if I'm being really honest with you. There's fucking so much on the television nowadays. Do you know what I mean? It actually does make it a bit fucking easier. Obviously, I can go to football now and what have you, but you end up thinking, look, if I go and keep performing anyway, it's just a revolving door. I'm just going to keep coming to the warehouse. What's the fucking point?
You got another sentence, did you not, after
your
six?
Bottle, I got a 2 stretch. I got a 2, a bottle.
What was that for?
Cardiff, fuck all, really. Being being at the front of the mob, but you know, and I knew because I heard, you know, the cozzer, the gav who had the camera, he went, it's Jason Marriner, there's so and so, and he was going through names, blah blah, and I thought, if I just stand here and I ain't doing anything, so I put my hands behind my back, just started fucking thinking to like, and I thought, if one of them steams into me, then I can fucking
self-defense.
Yeah, right. So. I'm in the old I'm in the kangaroo court, and right? And it always makes me laugh about that as well, because you know what, in 1987 I got 2 not guilties at this Isleworth Crown Court it was. I got 2 not guilties. I'm back there fucking 20 odd years later, or fucking however long it was, more than that, 25 years later, however long it was. Anyway, prosecution starts walking up and down. Says, you're famous, ain't you? I said, famous? So I ain't famous. Well, he's written books, you've been in films, done documentaries, you've done this. And he's walking up and down, this, that and the other. So I went, yeah. So I went, but that don't make me famous, does it? Sign books, you sign DVDs. You said you've been seen outside. People stop you, you have photographs. So I went, right. So he went, and he mentioned about my book again. I said, would you like to buy it? So he went, no, he said, I wouldn't read a book like that. I said, well, you might find it interesting. I said, maybe you'll see a different walk of life. So he went to me, he said, anyway, forget that. He said, so there you are, again at the front. Now, don't forget, I've just mentioned that camera. I think that camera's on me. Let me tell you. There was one up there. There was 2 council, 1 handheld, 1 up in the fucking flats, and then the helicopter. 5 dolly mixtures. So 5 smudges on me, right? But fucking hell, they've got every angle. And them helicopters, say what you fucking like, let me tell you. If you've got a little lapel on the fucking, which I had on a coat, it can zoom in on the, the camera's fucking, yeah, this camera's top of the notch, and you know, you ain't getting out. Anyway, but you know, I don't think I'm doing anything, do I? Listen, I said, he said, well, you're always at the front. I said, well, someone's got to be at the front, someone's got to be at the back. So he said, well, why did you go down that road? So I said, the police pushed us down that road. So he said, so you're blaming the police? I said, that's exactly what I'm doing. He thought I was going to backpedal. He thought I was going to melt or something. I went, that's exactly what I'm doing, blaming the police. I said, as a matter of fact, which I think is the biggest stitch up since sliced bread.
Since your BBC documentary.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, so he went, and why do you think that then? I said, well, is a category C like the top, you know, the top volatile, could be like, there could be plenty of clashes and this and that. And also, let's have it right, before the game, there was fucking untold, you know what I mean? Right, there was untold going on, right? I mean, plenty of rollouts before the fucking. So I said, he said, so what are you saying? I said, well, when the game finished, you let everyone else out together. I said, I watched Liverpool Man United the other week at Old Trafford. I said, there was fucking 1,800 or however many Mickeys in the corner. I said, and they kept the Scousers in for fucking 40 minutes. I said, till they cleared the streets. I said, didn't do that there, did you? I said, because it was a cup game, I said, you let 6,000 Cardiff out at the same time as us. I said, with an history, they both got history. I said, so what do you expect? I said, did you expect everyone to go to tea parties? You know what I mean? I don't understand it. He said, that's irrelevant. I said, well, it ain't irrelevant. Because I won't buckle in court. I'm still the same man. I'm entitled to fucking have my say. Do you know what I mean? And I said, well, it ain't irrelevant. I said, so you know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? You was looking for a fight. I said, I was. Chelsea played at home and I was walking towards my car, which was down that road. I said, but the police pushed me down that road anyway. He said, well, why didn't when you got to the top of the road, when all this commotion was going on, why didn't you turn right? He thinks he's got me, doesn't he? Oh, silly old slippery bollocks here. I said, listen, I'm a nosy bastard. I said, you know, if I'm going northbound on the M25, I said, and there's a crash southbound, I said, I look. I said, because I'm nosy. I said, so that's what I was doing then. He said, you was at the front. He said, are you going to write another book? He said, because I never saw you with your pen and paper out. I said, it's funny you should say that, which I have done, kicking the habit, right? So I have done, right? But that's not, you know, so I took the piss and I said, well, I might do. And he said, well, I never saw you with your pen and paper, so I don't need it. I said, it's all up there. I said, I've got many, many stories, all up there. So don't need it. And he kept going on about the front. I said, look, if you go to the fish and chip shop, someone's got to be at the front, someone's got to be at the back. Someone runs out of chips at the end, you know what I mean? I said, there's nothing you can do. So that's the way it is. He said, but you're always at the front. I said, and so am I in a fish and chip shop. I just batted his derby, you know what I mean? And I can think, but it's just.
And you got a two? You got a deuce?
Yeah, I've got a bottle of glue. Yeah, I've got a two. But
how was it? So, out all the London clubs, how the fuck is Chelsea and Millwall so ruthless towards each other? How's the hatred so strong?
It's funny, actually, because I've got some very good pals over there. And so have some of our other lads. Look, it's a bit like if you're a good football team and you keep winning things, people hate them. And when we was fucking at the top of our game as notorious football hooligans, and Millwall come out of South London, they had a fucking notorious, you know, they're good at fucking having a turnout. You're both doing the right thing, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? So in a way, there's sort of mutual respect, but you hate each other because I think because you're doing it right. Do you know what I mean? You know, fucking hell. You're not going to hate Kingstonians, are you? Because fucking...
Did you ever come up to Glasgow and have a tear up with anybody with Rangers? And they go down to Chelsea also?
Well, we had murders with Celtic, didn't we? But Celtic come down to Chelsea fucking for a friendly. No, sorry, it wasn't a friendly. It was... we won the league and they won the league. Oh, did I say that? but do you know what? The old Bill even fucking, he copped for me. He went, who arranged this? And I went, do you mean the row or the fixture? Do you know what I mean? We was on the streets at 2:00 in the afternoon. Fucking hell, Chelsea and Glasgow Rangers have had a fucking affiliation since... I mean, my first ever game, I think, was fucking 84... I'll tell you when it was. Rangers played Aberdeen, right? Graham Souness scored the winner for Rangers. We had 2 minibus loads, and we left Chelsea on the Friday night. Fucking hell. That's how it's mental. We left Chelsea on the Friday. 2 minibus loads. Come down. Walked into the district bar, Paisley Road West, probably 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. None of us got tickets. Right? It is fucking mobbed. Mobbed in there. I mean, it's mental, isn't it? Because, obviously people are, they're straight run, you know what I mean? They've been at work or wherever they work. You don't get that where we come from, you know what I mean? We come from different suburbs. That was another thing with Chelsea. We come from different suburbs. You don't live in fucking Chelsea with all them cunts, you know what I mean? Although there's lots of, flats. And housing estates and what have you. But you don't get it as a whole. That's why Chelsea also had a good contingents as well, because they all come from different suburbs. They all meet up, and it's a different family every other Saturday or whatever it is. But anyway, we go to the district. Never forget it. Fucking I'm fucking like John Wayne looking for me horse by fucking 12 bells. I've been boozing on the fucking thing and this, that, and the other. So we're down at Chelsea. We was early, 2 o'clock. They was coming. I was getting phone calls. So they're coming in at King's Cross and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have a drink. Didn't have a drink at all. Drove, but got there early and fucking all hours. I was banned. I was banned at the time. And but I wasn't on a radius.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just bouncing the ground. And fucking hell, honestly, we had everyone and their grandmother was out, because we've had a strong allegiance with,
How did the allegiance become so strong between Rangers and Chelsea?
Just
was it
the likes of us early started before us, but see, so that Rangers Aberdeen game, right, that weekend, Chelsea had Man United. Kerry Dixon scored the winner. We beat Aberdeen 2-0. Went down, Kerry Dixon, what a weekend. But that night, we wound up in a lodge. Not that you're allowed to wear an hat, but anyone with hats, make sure they're on the table, stand up to the national anthem at 2 minutes to 12. You're allowed to smoke, then obviously put your cigarettes in the ashtray, stand up, boom. God save the Queen. Fucking hell, I thought this is a bit of me. God save the Queen, the nipples like Griller's fun, chappy, this is fucking a bit of me. Right, so, horses for courses, everyone's, so boom, all of a sudden I went in, and now you go back, didn't you, and you go, listen, you ain't going to believe this. Boom. I've got hold of the treacle. I think she's about 87, the cunt, don't worry about that, but I didn't mind. I was only about 70, I don't know how old I was, I can't remember, but might have even been 86, I can't remember what year it was. I know someone's going to watch this and go, I'll tell you what year that was, because they would do. We was in the bear pit and it was all fucking thing. And it was just a whole experience. And it was just all of a sudden, hold on, these are for us, this mob up there. Do you know what I mean? And, you start learning. And I'm not being rude. They don't even support Scotland, they support England and blah, blah, blah. And we don't need to go into all of that. We know the score, don't we? But so that's how, and you know what I mean, James? And then, look, let's have it right. There's a lot of sheep in life, isn't there? You know what I mean? You either fucking follow or you're a sheep. There's a lot of sheep in life. But you start telling people and they don't believe, and you say, you ain't going to believe this. Boom. And you tell people, and I would imagine it's the same for the other side. If the fucking, your mum and dad have come from Irish heritage or whatever it is, or blah, 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 and you ain't going to believe this, and fucking fuck them proddy bastards and boom, and fucking whatever. I ain't going to cry about it. So fucking what? Do you know what I mean? So I'm called a fat orange cunt tomorrow. I don't care.
See that every week you were fighting, was that a buzz for you? Were you just buzzing constantly?
Well, the other thing was, right, as much as I'll go back on myself a little bit, I said about the organisation. The organisation took it to a different level, but it was the element of surprise. I'll give you a prime example. I mean, Watford Gap is in fucking Birmingham, so why it's ever called Watford Gap, I will never know. But if we're playing, let's just say we're playing in Manchester, fucking Newcastle, fucking wherever you want. So we're going up north, yeah? You're going up north and you're on the fucking motorway and you stop at Watford Gap, back in the day, right? And you got 52 Herberts, they're 4 cans in, and they boom, 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 all jump the champ, walk in the toilet like a librarian, walk out like a gangster, boom, 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 all of a sudden, they've come out, then, all of a sudden, whoever it is, whoever it may be, are fucking travelling the other way. You bump into them at the fucking... You've had a row before you've even got to fucking... Because you can't help yourself. You're like fucking... You're half a dozen cans in, aren't you? And boom, 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 and you get to so-and-so and they go, fucking hell, did you... Yeah, it was us. Do you know what I mean? You've had a row at the motorway station. I mean, them fucking... Why these people ever want to work at service stations?
Did you just get a buzz with that? I mean, was that just, just buzzing?
Look, do you know what it is to me? Football is a small part of the day. Back in the day, starts on a Thursday. Finishes on a Sunday. Fucking hell, you're out, you're going to buy yourself a new T-shirt or a shirt. I mean, that's a clever cunt, isn't it? Go and buy yourself a nice T-shirt, 120 fucking quid. Fucking all the buttons. And you cry like a baby over spilt milk about your fucking buttons being torn up a fucking T-shirt, and you got a big black eye. You're more worried about your T-shirt. You know what I mean? You go and get that. You're talking to your mates about what time you're meeting, where you're going, what you're doing, who you're with, who's coming, who will be there. This, that, and the other. And you're fucking, it's the build-up. Then on the day. And then you get pissed easy because you're bit Man United, don't you? You get all excited. So you get fucking thing, you get carried away with emotion. And then, I'm sure people will watch this and go, do you know what? That's happened to me. It's the truth. It's the fact. Football's a small part of the day. And whatever I'm about, I love the game. If I'm at home on a Sunday doing fuck all, well, it doesn't matter if it's Sunday, it'd be a Monday, it'd be a Tuesday, whatever, and there's a bit of football on, I'll watch the cunt. I don't care if it's... Well, I won't watch Tuesday. I mean, I'll get the texts whether you cunts are winning or losing anyway. I don't need them. But do you know what I mean? I will watch. Do you know what I mean?
Just not football.
I'll watch football. So, but what I am saying is it is a small part of the game. A small part of the day, sorry. And I'll tell you something now, and I mean this. There's a lot of people that's gone to football that have done very well for themselves. But it's in them, as I said earlier. If it's in the cat, it's in the kitten. They ain't skip members. There's some people there that's got fucking some strong money or done well for themselves. Well, not that it's all about money or this, that, and the other. There's other people that, bless them, have been fucking boxing crisps all fucking in a factory for 12 hours a fucking day, and they want their bit of release. I can't say that about me because I ain't never done. You know what I mean? I have to work for myself because I can't be told what to do.
Who was the gamest bastard you ever come up against? Who was one that stands out you and go, he was a game bastard?
As a person, you mean, or
Just
mob?
in a mob.
Because I couldn't say a person.
No, not a person.
Well, I'll tell you what I rate. I'll tell you what I rate, and it's the best northern firm I've ever seen in my life. Middlesbrough.
Yeah?
But 100%. Best, good loyalist, by the way. But I'm sure there's... but no, all joking aside, I'll tell you something, good firm, Middlesbrough. We've had some fucking great turnouts from them. And let me tell you, one of their top boys is a fucking very close mate of mine. But, yeah, my mate GB, but I'm telling you, we've had some great turnouts. I'll tell you, we had them in a cup final, didn't we? I mean, we've had murders before that, but we've had them. I was on the platform, mate. I mean, you got to start thinking about fucking hell. I might wind up on the tracks here. Do you know what I mean? I mean, even Sunderland, to be fair, we've had some good turnouts with fucking.
So, see if you know these people and you've got a respect. Do you still go toe to toe?
I ain't interested in the bollocks anymore, to be truthful. you know, I
But-
do
but
all right
back
for
then-
myself.
but-
I crack all right. I crack on.
But back then,
52 years old. Do you know
if
what I
you knew,
mean?
if you already had the respect, you knew each other. But on the day of the game,
You just body swerve each other a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You know, you can't. Fucking hell, I ain't there to paint the wall, am I? Do you know what I mean? You're not there to fucking, you know. As I say, you can have 500, you can have 150. You can have. But do you know something? Right, all joking aside, like back in the day, that's how you meet a lot of them. Because obviously, like with England, do you know what I mean? Back in the day, fucking, they were, you know, they were good. England were good. England were fucking, you know, because, we invented football, but we also invented football violence, do you know what I mean? So they was, you know. I mean, look, times have changed, James, you know what I mean? All this, look, if I could stop all these chavies now going out, fucking pulling knives on people and stabbing people and this, that and the other, listen, I've been bold, I've been, you know, chived, I've been fucking fingered, this, that and the other, and I ain't saying I ain't done nothing wrong like that, but, you know, people are losing their life every day, mate, every fucking day, you know what I mean? So the kid dies, for argument's sake, who gets chived. The kid loses his life. He's behind the door. He's behind the jigger. His family is suffering. Everyone's suffering. No one's a winner. Have a fucking turnout. And if it don't, go and have a light out afterwards and fucking thing, or don't even have the turnout anymore. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going to fucking have the halo round my head and all that turnout, but it's all bollocks now. You know, people, look, it's a bit like, if you like, the fucking religion and but it's all about, like you have these postcode wars now. Do you have them in Scotland? Postcode?
well, it's different people fighting each other.
Yeah, for
schemes,
different postcodes and all that
still
old
to this
bollocks.
day,
Yeah, of course, right. And what I'm getting at is like football violence, right, is a culture. I mean, let's not get it twisted, right? This has been going for fucking 40, 50, 30, 40 years. It's a culture. It ain't a fly-by-night thing. You have punks and rockers and skinheads and mods and fucking whatever you have. Now, that's all a culture. To me, that's all a culture. Now, all of that, right, that's all still happening. Same as the football violence. It's all still happening. I'm not saying the mods and the punks and the skinheads are going out and having a turnout, but they're still about. But all it is the numbers are dwindled. And it's just a smaller thing. And, you know, look, it's the fucking little wheels that make the big wheels go round.
Do you miss
know
it?
what I mean? I don't miss it because I'll tell you why I don't miss it, because I feel sorry for these young guns as well. I mean, what chance have they got? They got grass book. They grass themselves up within, you know. I mean, one day they're posting their fucking food on there. Who gives a fuck what I'm running a bath? Well, good luck to you. Run a bath, you cunt. Who cares? I can't have it. I won't have it, mate. I'm not interested.
What's the plans then for the future for you, Jason?
Well,
What's the plans? Because I know you're trying to start out a new podcast for yourself, which will be massive.
well, I've got a YouTube channel coming out. Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel coming out very shortly. I've got a film premiere on Thursday, but by the time this comes out, I'd have been at that. I've done a thing with, you know, the likes of Jamie O'Hara was in it, Razor Ruddock, the first transgender fucking referees in it. Dapper laughs, yeah. Dan, my pal Dan O'Reilly's. It's all about him because he's not into football, is he? Do you know what I mean? So, what do you mean he ain't into football? He's one of the lads, do you know what I mean? And all his pals are into football. And I'm saying, what do you... So I'll wind him up all the time, you're a Chelsea cunt. That's who you are, do you know what I mean? But he's all right, Dan, he's sweet. So I'm going, I've got a YouTube channel coming out, and so I'll go on the podcast on the back of it, I suppose, and, you know. And I'm doing a documentary at the moment, because... Look, we've been in talks about fucking this film about me for 20 years now. It's boring. I can't even be bothered to talk. But see, they only think it's all about football violence when it ain't about football violence. As I've told you, the scenario, there's so much more behind the scenes of what happens with the, you know, with the program. I mean, they had fucking a yellow Porsche Boxster, a 7 Series BMW, a fucking Merc Chrysler. The list goes on. But anyway, it was your money. We've mentioned that before. But, you know, so I'm doing a documentary because they reckon the directors, the two directors and the producers, Terry Stone and Richard Turner, what they're saying is the documentary they can sell to Netflix, and then Netflix then on the back of that they can try and get some funding to make the film. I'm a bit like that. Listen, Freddie Foreman's my pal. He's been my pal since fucking the 80s. You know what I mean? They ain't made a film about him. So look, if I want to go and say, here's a thing I never mentioned. I got phoned up last week by an Irish television company. An Irish one.
Good
No, I
guys.
did. Right, I got phoned up, yeah, and so the man said to me, he was all right. To be fair to him, the old tea caddy, he said to me, look, he said, it's 25 years in February when the Lansdowne Road, the game got abandoned. It's the anniversary, another anniversary, right, of Lansdowne Road. I said, oh, right, okay. So I said, what's that got to do with me? He said, well, you was there, weren't you? I said, oh, yeah, I was there, yeah. So he said, so what we'd like to do, we'd like to, talk to you. And I said, whoa, let me stop you there, mate. He said, go on. I said, how much? I said, what do you mean, how much? I said, well, I don't fucking do nothing for nothing, mate. Do you know what I mean? So he said, well, I don't think. I said, hold on a minute, mate. Ain't you like, it's the mainstream television? He said, oh, yeah, 100%, yeah. I said, what? And you're a skimp member? What, you got no Nelsons wrapped around you? You got no money? He went, oh, no. He said, well, what I have to do? He said, what sort of money is there? Anyway, I spoke to him. He said, well, what we'll do is if we have a little chat first. I said, no, mate. So you can jot down and pick my brains and get 25 years of fucking knowledge out of me and this, that, and the other fucking thing. And I refused to do it. I said, listen, mate, if I want to go on television, I'll go and crackerjack. Do you know what I mean? I said, it ain't for me, mate. I said, no. I said, I'm not desperate to go on anything, mate. I said, trust me, I'll do my own thing. I said, no, and I don't need to be thing anyway. I ain't heard from him since. But fuck him, ain't done.
Jace, it's always a pleasure, brother. Your stories are always up there, but thanks for coming on today and
Top man.
hope you get pumped tomorrow.
Fuck you. We are the people.
See you later, man. Cheers.